welcome. Amir here with another React challenge that could really give you an edge on your interviews. Today we are going to focus both on the React part and some CSS. The problem that we are solving today is this ripple effect. So you have probably seen this effect. Now it's a good time to pause the video and try to resolve it by yourself. Otherwise, let's get to the code. Alright, here I am with my empty app. The only thing that I have here is a h1. So first thing is that I would have a button here. Let's say click me. I will first write the CSS and then the JavaScript part or the React part. Okay, let me first close this console here so I have more room here. Great, let's go to the style part. First, style our button. I will do it pretty fast, so I will give it some margin like so. I will remove the border like so. Let's give it some background color with navy, and then color is let's say white, and give it some cursor like this. A little bit more, like 30 maybe. Great. And give it some position here, because the ripple effect that will be here inside the button needs to be positioned based on the button here, so this needs to be relative. And let's give it some z index as well. Great. Now for this button I would like to have a span like so. Let's say this is the span that is inside the button that will have the ripple effect. So I would have a span here like so. This span will be a circle, a very small circle that will be expanded. Let's say the border radius is like 100%, then the width is like maybe 10 pixels, and the height is also like 10 pixels to make it a circle. Let's give it some background color of white, and let's position it absolute. Okay, now I can see the button, and it's positioned here because it's after the text, but it doesn't matter. We're going to move it based on the position of the mouse that is clicked on the button. Okay, now let's do the animation for this span. Let's define some keyframes here. Animation. Let's say ripple, and then 1 second. Now let's go down here, say keyframes, and the name, which is ripple. So it starts at 0% and it ends at 100%. So here I would have the opacity at 0, and let's say here opacity is at like 0.7. Okay, that is way too much. Let's say it's 0.2. Okay, I like this much better. I need to make this bigger, so first the transform is like scale 1, and then here we can scale it up. It's a little small, so let's say 20. Now I like this much better. Okay, we're done with the CSS. Let's go and write the JavaScript or React part. So here I would convert this to a component that we could probably use it later if we want to. So button with no props, and then I need to define the component up here. Button like so. First let's return the thing that we wrote, which is the button and everything, and it's working pretty much the same. Great. Now the span will only be visible when we click, so we need to have state to see if it's animating or not. Let's say this is animating, and then set animating. In the beginning we don't want to animate, so use state false, and then we only want to animate when we click, so we would go here and say animating. If we are animating, then show the span, otherwise don't show the span. And as you can see, the span is not rendered. So now I need to write the onClick for this one, so that when I'm click, the animation happens. So onClick, define the onClick function. So onClick is a function like so. Set the animating to true. Now after some time I need to set the animating back to false. So if I go here, now if I click, I would animate and it would stop here. So I need to reset it. So let's go here and say after 1 second that I had in the CSS for the ripple, yes, 1 second. So after 1 second, when the CSS animation is done, I would reset the animating. Set animating back to false. Now let's go here. Great. Now the only thing is that I need to position this based on the position of the mouse. So in order to do that, I need to know where the mouse is based on the position of the button on the screen. Now if I go here and on click get the E and then log the E, you can see that there are a bunch of values that are being shown. So if I go here, you can see I have lots of data that I can use. Now the thing that I want is these two values. So now you can see this is 402 and 115. Now if I click somewhere around here, you will see that this number will be like 83. So 83 from the top and 306 from the left. So this is the position relative to page. I need to find the position of the button as well and then subtract these two values to get the respective to the button. So I would go here and say give me the offset, or we can call it the position as well, the position of the mouse. We can get that by referencing this button on the page. So I need to define a ref so that I can get the position. I would go here and say ref, define the ref here. So ref is use ref, and in the beginning it's null. Now here the offset is looking at ref at current, which will point to this button, and now I can use the get bounding client rectangle that will give us the information about the button on the page down here, and then say log the offset as well. Go here, refresh, and if I click here, you can see I get a lot of data: the height, the width, the x and the y. The thing I need is the top and then the left. So these two values are the things that I want. So I would go here and say, let's say y is offset dot top, and I need to subtract this from the e dot page y. So I would do the same for x, and here is left. Okay, let me log these two values to see if I'm on the right track or not. So if I go click here, I would get 7 and 3. So if I go down and click here, I would get 106 and 40, which is correct. So if I click here, okay, great. So these values are working properly. Now I need to position that span on these points that I found. I would define another state here, just like this, position and then set the position, and here I would set the position to an object that will be passed to this span as a style. The thing that I need to set here is one. First is the left, and second is the top. X value plus the px, because it needs to be in pixels, and the same goes for here, and this is basically y plus px. Now I need to have the style down here, and this is the position. And before leaving this, I need to reset the position when the animation ends. So set position back to, let's say, empty object. And let's close this. Great. Now whenever I click, I will see a ripple effect on the position of the mouse. Great. So I hope you have enjoyed the video. If that's the case, please subscribe to my channel, and if you really feel like to support the channel more, there are links for donation on the description part of this video. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.